Welcome to the Non-Essential Podcast. I'm Steve Gibson.
What's up?
What's up? Yo.
This is brought to you by Chapstick. Just Chapstick. Get your own. Pick your brand.
I win an award every time we try to start the show, and like we do the count in, which we cut out obviously. But like I try to just go by the timeline on Audacity as it's recording, and every now and then it'll like hit one and then pause for a second, like it freezes for a split second, and you're like, ah, fuck. Yeah. Like trying to keep it in tempo. But anyway.
Yeah, the trials and tribulations of phoning in a podcast for 10 years.
Right. I'm basically a war hero. Yeah. You too.
So yeah, welcome to the show. Every week we tell each other stories. I had a real topic, but I didn't pursue it this week. I just That's
my style. Like, it'll be there, and then maybe the next time it's my turn, I'll get it. Maybe it'll just be, I'll lose interest in it. You never know.
Yeah, the problem was the topic I got from a YouTube video, and then I couldn't find anything written down to, like, verify it. And,
man.
And it's
Don't
like,
let that stop you.
And it's like I'm not gonna transcribe a fucking YouTube video to get some notes together. Like,
that's the problem if you're working. At least for me, if I'm working strictly off a video, it's so hard to not just like basically word for word take their story.
Yeah.
And for as little effort as we put in, I try not to just like copy and paste like a Wikipedia article. I try to like write my own story with the information, but that's hard from a video.
Yeah, and there was a time where, if like I fell short on a topic on the show, I would, scramble.
Flog yourself.
I would scramble to find a new one, and that period was about the first 2 weeks. And then I found the Creepypasta well, which we're going to go down again today.
What's funny is I've got this whole folder of topics that were really interesting, but are way too much work to try to sort the notes out.
Yeah.
So I haven't deleted. It's just a growing pile of like. People, if they saw it, be like, "You need to do that topic. It's interesting." Be like, "Yeah, but it's work."
It's gonna be great. Like, one day the show will end and we'll die in an explosion, and people will see the like lost notes from the episodes that never were.
These people could have been great.
Yeah, how fucking fucked would that be if like we got obliterated in a nuclear blast, and so, like somehow I don't know why our computer survived. Maybe they caused it. Like somebody finds our notes and like, wow, this is a good show.
God, now I'm picturing Skynet and like Terminators, but like instead of talking, it's just our podcasts coming out of their mouth. Like that's probably more terrifying than
if like a fucking metal skull is just reciting the non-essential pod with a fucking
welcome to the non-essential podcast. I'm Steve Gibson
with a fucking machine gun.
Right. Yeah, that's fucking terrifying.
This show is brought to you by Butt Problems. Butt Problems.
Oh, man. Can you imagine getting taken out by a robot talking about butt problems?
I always thought it would go down like that.
Yes.
I would finally get that big ad deal we always wanted for, like, Miralax trying out their new cyborg program. So this one is a ritual creepypasta, which I really like to do because it's like an instruction manual for something that's always a bad idea.
Yeah, and again, this is why it's good that you don't take more time to prepare, because you'd probably gather all the ingredients from this story. You're like, I'm going to try to do this as we talk.
Yeah. This is called Formula of the Worthless Shepherd.
It sounds like a rum and coke or something.
Yeah.
That's what I drink every night. It's just my formula of me.
Yeah. I couldn't find an author on this one, so if you wrote it and we didn't give you proper credit, beat the shit out of me at your next event. All right.
It was Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman wrote this.
Dude, that would be sick.
I'm just going to, every time there's an anonymous one, I'm going to pick a famous person and say they did it.
Yeah. We stole this from Nick Offerman.
Oh, God, no, I don't want to steal anything from that guy.
What would he do? He would make you a fucking canoe? Like,
that's true. And then beat you to death with it.
Yeah, he's not like... I know The Last of Us paints that picture, but he's not like, I'm going to fuck you up. He's just going to be like, oh, you stole that? Like, you're not a real man. And then walk away.
I was going to say, he would question my masculinity into, like, to a point where I would just, like, cease to exist. Like, he wouldn't even directly question it. It would just be like... he
would make you feel like a fucking ant. Just with, like, the dad, like, talking down to he would give you.
Right.
But he wouldn't, you know...
He wouldn't physically harm you, or even, like, emotionally abuse you.
I say that as soon as I step outside, I'm going to get an arrow in the neck.
Sucker Punched by Nick Offerman.
All right. So it starts with a statement of intent. This formula is intended only for the expert magician. So, you know.
Randy Pitchford.
So luckily, Steve, it's perfect for you.
Yep.
Whatever the intention of the operator may be in performing this type of ceremony, know that they must be deeply rooted in said intent. This ritual is not for the faint heart. Not the faint of heart, the faint heart.
That's like a 80s like girl band.
Yeah. The Faint Heart. That's a good band name. I would roll with it. Yeah. Nor is it to be done by the inexperienced occultist. Even knowledge of this formula in itself is considered dangerous for a novice. Read on cautiously. Preliminaries. You must be well versed in the art and practice of meditation. Your visualization skills must be advanced. You must be capable of astral projecting with ease and quickly inducing self-hypnosis.
Check.
So, yeah, it's like how to make $1 million. Step 1, make $1 million.
Well, it's the realistic thing. It's how to make $1 million. Step 1, have $1 million.
Before you can do the ultimate magic, you got to be capable of ultimate magic and project yourself across the earth.
I would like to think that you have to do all this stuff that's prerequisites for this formula, and at the end we're going to find out the formula is just to make a quarter appear behind somebody's ear. Like,
that's a good trick. Extended experience in ceremonial magic is required prior to starting. This is like a fucking job application. At least moderate experience in goetic evocation. I've never heard either of those words.
I majored in that in college.
Yeah, is also required. However, you will need extended experience to complete the ceremony adequately. You must be well versed in various forms of magic and divination. Psychic operators are strongly preferred, however not required. This is a job application. Fuck this.
Mm-hmm. It's like the tweet I've seen going around before.
You must have transportation to the fucking ceremonial temple.
I like these. I've seen where it's like you've got to have 4 years experience in this program that's only been out for like a year and a half.
Yeah,
it's like,
and it's funny because it's like you're not getting those applications. Like the applicants who can do that shit have jobs usually, like that pay more. Begin by finding a very large room with 2 doors. The room must be empty and the doors must be on opposite walls, preferably directly across from each other. If there is a window in the room, cover it with curtains or anything that may keep it from being seen through. You'll need a plentiful amount of white chalk. You will use this to map out the ritual itself. You'll need a plentiful supply of candles. They can be any kind. However, they must be the same color. The exception is...
I like that this is a ritual, but instead of telling you exactly how many candles, they leave it up for the possibility of error, like plentiful.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I've got 3 dozen. It's like, fucker, you needed 4 dozen.
I am starting to have that dread because, like you said, I don't read these ahead of time. I am starting to have this dread that you've done this story. But
nope,
we'll keep
it does sound very it sounds familiar. I thought it was one that sounded familiar, like the one that you'd done. I know I haven't.
Well, we'll keep rolling.
Or we have in the ritual works. Wiped our...
It's funny, like before I picked this story, there was another one I read yesterday, but it was way too short. It was like 3 paragraphs about how if you're feeling bad, do this ritual where you stand in the road and as lights come towards you, don't move, and then a truck will take you away. And then like it is said that you go to a better place. But that's
so basically if you feel bad, kill yourself.
Yeah, that's like kidnapping. Like,
all right, well.
All right, so they can be any kind, however, they must be the same color. The exception is one large black candle, which you must have. The other candles may be in any number. The ritual will work more smoothly with the more candles you use. However, you need at least 20. So not any number.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And I'm going to be a smartass when I do this ritual, and all my candles will be those like ones shaped like numbers from birthday cakes. Just for the hell of it.
If a candle lighting event goes past 5, I'm going to catch something on fire. It's too many
but that's
candles.
The fun of it.
You need incense and an incense burner. Any kind will do. These can usually be picked up for only a few dollars. Now we're budgeting. How to summon Diablo under $20.
In fairness, if your resume includes all the prerequisites that they listed, you probably don't have a job.
3 knives are required. They must be new. Store them. Fuck you. Like, why? Store them in clean white cloth from the moment you receive them until the time of the ritual. You will also need a wand. A tree branch will do in this case. All right. Like, I like that we're taking the piss out of like a wand right away. You can grab any stick.
It's interesting how like half of this ritual is just laissez-faire. Like,
you need to be the ultimate magician, but you need to fucking like you can grab any shit off the street.
But the knives have to be specifically wrapped in white cloth and not used. But the wand can be any stick-like object. Yeah. Hell, grab a branch or your dick. I don't care. It's just a wand.
Swish and flick your dick. You must have a crystal ball, clear quartz. It may be of any size. It should be stored somewhere dark and left untouched until the time of the ritual. Make sure it is properly cleansed and cleared of all energies. Sometimes touching a crystal ball will leave imprints of your consciousness onto it.
And fingerprints.
Yeah, evidence.
I learned that the hard way, yeah.
Since we can cut some corners, can I just use a bowling ball?
As long as it's made out of quartz.
I'd love a clear quartz bowling ball. That'd be the coolest dude in the uncool club.
Wasn't, I don't know if it was quartz, but wasn't Bill Murray's ball from Kingpin clear with a rose in it?
I don't know. I've only seen parts of that movie.
Oh, man, it's a good, mediocre movie.
Many times these are negative energies and clutter the crystal ball, negatively affecting the divination results. You can clear your crystal ball by passing it through the incense of white sage. Several other special objects are needed. However, they will be mentioned and expanded upon once mentioned in the instructions.
Wait. I'm still stuck on the crystal ball because he says touching it can leave negative energy, but you can cleanse it by passing it through incense. But would you have to just throw it through the incense? Because if you're still holding it,
you roll it through a strike. White sage.
There you go. Yeah.
If you pick up the spare, you must wait another week and try again. Dress code, or lack thereof, is very strict. You must always be completely naked while operating the ritual. Fuck yeah, now we're talking. I
told you don't need a wand, you got one. Yeah. Well, depending on your physical makeup.
And if this shit doesn't work and you're just sitting there literally dick in hand, it's like, that's the best ritual ever. During the first night, you must tie a black band or string around your left thigh. Alright, this is getting weird. I'm into it. Clear all plans you may have for 9 days. Holy shit. Do this in intervals every 3 months for 15 months. You need to tell me what I stand to gain, sir.
But again, given all, they're like, if you know all this stuff and you can astral project, blah, 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 you probably already have a pretty clear schedule. I imagine you don't have a ton of social obligations at this point.
I'm just saying, if you're in a room with 2 doors, you do have to pay rent at some point, right?
That's true.
Or you're ruining, like, your fucking mom's house. Alright. Drawings and setup. You must complete the chalk drawings prior to the week of operation. Please follow the following instructions exactly, without many creative liberties. Like, I'm gonna add a little bit of me to this.
Well, they do that thing I used to do in school where you just start drawing, like, stick figures, like, fighting all over the...
Yeah. Well, if you do, your demon will come out with a Mario hat.
It's a me, Devilo.
Chris Pratt. Hey, guys, it's me, Mario. Hey, hey. Draw a large circle slightly offset from the center of the room. Make sure it is at least 9 feet in diameter. Outline it with another circle. The 2 rings should be exactly 1 foot apart from each other. Do it once more. This is already too much work. Do it once more, drawing a large circle enveloping the 2 smaller ones. Within the innermost circle, you must draw a square large enough to stand it. At each point of the square, you shall draw a small hexagram, making 4 small hexagrams total. Within the center of each hexagram, you will create a Tau cross and write the word Adonai with the points of the hexagram. Each letter should reside within 1 point of the hexagram. Stand in the square. Whichever hexagram is directly in front of you, write Alpha. For some reason, they put a dash between AL and F.
Alpha. That's your rap name.
Yeah, totally. With the hexagram being between the 2 syllables. Do the same with the one behind you. However, in this one, you will write Omega. Label the directions of the platform as north, south, east, and west. Write these outside of the outermost circle you drew. Now within the outermost circle, you must draw a snake eating its tail. The point where the tail is bitten by the mouth of the snake must line up perfectly with the alpha hexagram. Do they actually expect people to do this? Like, we have some of these ritual ones where it's like there's so much fucking detail to the instructions. Like, I'm not going to do this. I don't have 13 months to give to you this. And you haven't promised me gold or anything.
That's the thing. It's a lot to ask of somebody for not having told them what their reward is.
It's just like to be the perfect magician.
You'll pull 2 rabbits out of your hat.
Within the snake, you must write in Hebrew various alchemical equations. They may be of any sort. Be creative with this. Use your flair.
You just said not to take liberties.
You can't take fucking liberties with the shapes and shit. But the alchemical equations, are they equations if you just do your own thing?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I suppose they're talking about
that was my approach to math in fucking school, but I didn't pass a lot of math. So
yeah, they don't
X can mean whatever I want.
Yeah, there's not a lot of creativity points awarded in math, but
this is the chance for your originality to shine through. Magicians play with various different equations and experiment to see the outcomes. No, they don't. What? They play with cards.
He's mixing up magicians and alchemists, I think.
They play with cards and guns.
Did I say magician? I meant chemist. You should be a chemist for this to work.
However, it is generally a good idea to stick to the ones that involve the transmutation of the soul. Within the square at the center of your circle, you must draw a strange symbol, which shall be thoroughly described. It looks like the Aries sign. However, there is a line crossed through its center. A small circle is below it. Make sure this circle is large enough that you can place your black candle within it during the ceremony. It is required that you learn as many names of God as possible and write the ones you personally know and understand throughout the circle. They may be of any god. Outline your circle with the 12 candles. Place your black candle within the space mentioned earlier. Place 3 candles of random sizes in the 4 corners of the room. Place the remaining candles you have throughout the room in random places. Make sure none of these ones are within 1 foot of another. Now draw a half circle. Holy shit, dude. Like, you're going to get kicked out of your parents' house.
So I'm amending this wasn't written by Nick Offerman. It was clearly written by Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
This is the performance art piece that...
Yeah. This room's going to look sick when he's done, though.
Yeah, 3% of the population will think it's brilliant. The rest of us will be like, what the fuck?
And then there'll be 10% who, for some reason, get horned up by it and want it to be destroyed. Now draw a half circle across the wall and around one of the doors of the room. The edges of the half circle must touch the door, especially at the top. On the edges of the door, you must draw 3 pentagrams on both sides of the door and another one above it. Leave enough space that it is within the half circle, but still above the door frame. You may draw any elemental symbols you like around the door. Again,
keep in mind this is all in chalk, and you're supposed to repeat. I forget how many times they said you have to repeat this over, like
13 or 15 months. I should be able to check.
So
that.
There's going to be a lot of redrawing of this stuff too.
Yeah, it's 3 months, intervals of 3 months for 15 months. Fuck this. This is way too much work. Alright, you may draw any elemental symbols you like around the door. Binding the elements to the door will give it more power during the ritual. You must bind them prior to the start of the ritual. Write on the face of the door itself the following names. Beelzebub. Not Beelzebub, Beelzebub.
Beelzebub.
Hi, I'm Beelzebub, car dealer. Paimon, Beleth, or Belay, Byleth, or Byleth. Same thing. Person, Asmodai, Vine, Balaam, Zagan, Belial. This door is important. I would fucking hope so. I drew all over it. Make sure it is in front of you during the ritual, or at least visible without turning or moving much.
Fuck, I drew my thing the wrong way. You could have told me this in the beginning.
Wrong door,
buddy.
Damn it.
Yeah.
On the second door, you must draw only a single diamond with a cross attached to its lowest point. You must then draw a triangle around the door. Do not touch or use this door at all after you've done this. That's where the bathroom is.
Again, could have fucking told me that sooner, buddy.
We need more warnings for these sections. You may have the liberty to draw any other symbols or equations throughout the room. However, they must make sense. None of this makes sense.
And at this point, I've gone through a whole bunch of work. I don't think I'm chomping at the bit to be like, all right, now I get to use my creative freedom.
Finally, I can draw a Trogdor here. They must work properly with what you already have. If their meanings contradict anything else in the room, the ritual will not work. Also, if they are illegible, man, I suck, or have no place or meaning in the occult, the ritual will not work. The symbols, drawings, or markings must agree with everything else written in the room. However, this is no surprise to anyone who has worked in ceremonial magic long. You may choose not to add any extra markings at all. This is suggested. However, if you do add any, keep them minimal. Dude, quit saying do what you want, but not too much. Like, this is every
do
art
what you
teacher
want as
I've
long
had.
as it's exactly this, and it's better not to do it at all, but do it anyway, but don't do, yeah.
Like, you would get an art assignment and fucking, like, I would get them in college. I took, like, a history of art, and anytime we got to, like, actually do something, it would just be like, you have to use these shapes in this way. And I would do that, and then the rest of the assignments, like, express yourself. And I would do that, and they would be like, B. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do you get an A?
I've talked about it before, too. I've had... so I went to art school, so that wasn't, they actually did encourage doing whatever. But I had a lot of, like, literature classes. One in particular, one teacher in high school that was like that. It's like, here's this passage from this thing. What do you think this symbolizes? And you put what it means to you. And they'd be like, wrong. And it's like, what? What?
It's what it means to me. Like, I had the long version of that in high school where, like, I took an English class that was like, it was this thing where, like, they knew I was a good writer, but I didn't like school, so they tried to, like, put me in, like, an intense sort of one-on-one thing with this professor, and he had me write a paper about, like, a Nathaniel Hawthorne short story and what I thought of it. And then he basically spent the rest of the semester making me do writing assignments until I changed my position. And to be fair, he did convince me, but it's literally all we talked about for the entire for months was that fucking short story. And then I learned that dude didn't write anything else that I liked. So, all right. So if you do anything cool, keep it minimal. This isn't about being cool. It's about being magic. You must construct 2 pillars on either side of the second door. They may be composed of anything you like. However, they must be at least 5 feet tall and exactly what I said. No.
Made out of toilet paper tubes. Charmin, though. None of that other, I don't know any other brands. So.
I'm big on quilted northern myself.
There you go. Don't fucking use it, though. It's got to be Charmin.
No.
But any kind of Charmin you like. 2-ply, 3-ply.
Yeah.
Not 1-ply.
The world would be a better place if bears actually used toilet paper.
I agree.
That would be friendlier. They may be bought or made. They do not have to be new. They must be durable. Keep a chest, box, or container in the room which will store some of your supplies, such as the knives and the crystal ball.
And beer. Lots of beer.
Yeah. Can you bring beer into this? Because that's the only way I'm going to be sitting in this fucking room naked. During the ritual, however, they must all be laid out within the primary circle. Clear the room of all extra objects. Take the supplies you have in your box and lay them out in your circle, placed all around you. Make sure they do not cover any of the other markings, then leave. Do not enter the room upon completion of the drawings until you are ready to begin. At this point, you should be. Good news. Now it's time for the instructions. That was all set up.
Yeah. So this is like every board game that I've like seen after like you grow up and get past the like checkers age where it's like, oh, this game looks cool. And then you spend the next 8 hours reading the instructions. It's like, now it's time to start. It's like, we haven't started yet?
I have a brother I'd pawn that shit off on. Do not enter the room for 3 nights. Beginning at midnight, on the 3rd night, you may enter at any time. It is preferred, though not required, that the moon is in Capricorn. It is also
Wait. I might have just been like my mind wandering because it's doing that a lot. This story. Did you say on the 3rd night at midnight you can enter the room at any time?
Yes.
Beginning
at midnight.
At midnight. Oh, beginning at midnight. Okay.
Yeah.
I missed the beginning where it is.
But you do not. But you can't enter for 3 nights.
Right.
So,
but I could have sworn you said on the 3rd night at midnight you can enter the room at any time. It's like, well,
yeah,
at midnight, 1 second after midnight, 2 seconds after midnight, but not 60 seconds after midnight.
You come in when you like when we're open. It's preferred, though not required, that the moon is in Capricorn. It is also preferred, though not required, that the moon is full. Ideally, an eclipse or other rare lunar event. However, this is not at all necessary. As you know, with most occult practices, the moon merely adds varying amounts of strength to the ritual, depending on its activity. I know all about that shit. The ritual does not even need to be at night. That's why we block the windows. You dumbass.
So, what kind of ritual occultist astral projecting Genshin Impact magician are you?
However, it is preferred, as long as you do not enter the room until after midnight on the 3rd night. Night 1. You must take a bath in pure, unaltered milk. I'm out. That's fucking gross. Yeah. You need to tell me what the fuck I'm getting out of this.
But that's why you have to wait 3 nights, because you're going to have to go fucking milk a cow, because you can't just
I gotta get
any milk you buy has been altered, so...
Yeah, why are you... Like, I'm going to have a fucking farmer kill me because I'm touching his cow's nipples.
Right.
I don't want that. The milk can be from a cow, goat, etc. I don't want to know what the etc. Like... I don't want to know where you're getting that fucking milk from. However, it must not have any other additives. The exception to this is water, which you may add in any amount if you do not have enough milk. What the fuck?
Any amount? So I could get like a drop of milk and just draw a bath?
Yeah, I could take a bath.
That sounds way the fuck easier than getting a bathtub worth of unaltered
again,
milk.
like you're fucking burying like the lead here with like soak in the bath for 1 hour while in deep meditation. Visualize your third eye opening. Gross.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, visualize your brown eye opening.
You're bathing in raw milk. It might very well be opening
gross.
by now. Yeah.
Afterwards, visualize protective barriers of the highest sort all around you. Outline yourself in protective energy, shields, auras of fortification, etc. Visualize a protective, enveloping light all around you. Use whatever methods of protective magic you know at this point. After 1 hour of this, you must drain the bath. Do not get out of the bath until it is completely drained. Allow yourself to drip dry without the use of the towel. You're going to smell like fucking sour milk. You suck.
That's your protective barrier. Nobody's going to fucking come near you if you smell like sour milk. I mean,
it's the ultimate defense. You may use this time to meditate some more. Stimulate yourself sexually to increase your vibration.
Way ahead of you, buddy.
And allow for more magical capacity. You're going to jack off a little bit while you wait. While you're sitting there dripping milk, rub one out or two.
What else are you going to do? You're in an empty room with like...
Yeah. After drying, tie a blanket. Imagine you did walk in on this room and a guy was doing this.
What are you doing? I'm increasing my energy.
I'm vibrating. Get out! After drying, tie a blank band or string around your left thigh. Once you've done this, enter the room slowly. Close the door behind you completely. The door you just used should have been the first door you drew on. The second door, with the pillars and the triangle, should be opposite you. Take a few moments to light the candles throughout the room. However, do so quickly. Now you should enter your circle in the center of the room.
I knew I brought this flamethrower for a reason.
Yeah. To end this fucking horrible ritual.
Yeah, now I'm picturing a guy like covered in dry, sticky, sour milk, sprinting around the room with a book of matches trying to light these fucking candles.
You should begin by ringing a bell twice and saying the following. Here I am. Rocky like a hurricane.
Like a hurricane, yeah.
Now I'm into this ritual. Then state your name loudly. Vibrate your name into the room. You have raised spiritual awareness to your presence. You have already entered dangerous waters. If you have any hesitation about going forward, immediately stop what you are doing and begin doing a banishing ritual of any sort. However, after doing so, the room will be useless and incapable of being operated in again. Proceed by saying, Hear me. I hereby begin this ceremony of the art of evocation, and thus I shall call out to the worthless shepherd. Well, why do you want to talk to him?
He makes a killer pie.
He's worthless. He's useless. I just imagine Strong Sad appearing. Once you have said this, the ceremony has begun. From this point on, do not step outside of the circle, or you will risk all manner of harm. Ring the bell 3 more times. Begin burning incense. If you are unsure of where to put your burner, it would be best placed within the outer ring of the circle, even on the face of the serpent you drew.
But didn't it just say not to leave the inner circle? So
yep.
He's trying to trick you. Yeah. Don't fucking listen.
It would have been best placed there, but you fucked up. It's too late now.
Yeah, right. Ideally, I would have told you this sooner, but my bad.
Begin by reciting any preliminary incantations, hymns, or scriptures you feel are necessary for contacting spirits and altering spiritual matter. You should have a small dish of any sort. If you are male, stimulate yourself. All right, this is just an excuse to jack off. And I don't need one.
And again, I love that they're introducing you should have a small dish. I'm going to tell you that now that you're in the middle of the circle that you're not supposed to leave.
To be fair, they did say they're going to go over like items you need as they appear in the ritual. They weren't going to just list them all off.
Well, I guess I appreciate that from a
considering
us reading it standpoint.
The first 30 minutes were about drawing circles.
Yeah, that's true.
I appreciate cutting that out. If you're male, spank it like you mean it. Until you have emitted seminal fluids into the dish. That's fucking gross.
Yeah.
If you're,
I mean, again, way ahead of you, but...
And this isn't fair. If you're female, saliva will suffice. Why can't I just spit in it?
Well, I mean, in a way you are.
Yeah. Who am I kidding? Any instruction that tells me to do this, I would go do it in a second. I'd be like, this is outrageous. I can't believe I have to do this. I'll be back in a minute. Lay the dish at the end of the tail of the serpent, then sit cross-legged in the central square. Meditate peacefully for half an hour and open your consciousness to spiritual contact. After this, begin invoking the names of various goetic demons. Provide your incense and fluids as an offering. So the demon's like, why would I want that? Then say the following verse. I am a willing vessel of the prince of the power of the air. Then vibrate the entire verse slowly. Afterward...
See, I'm picturing a demon showing up and looking at that dish going, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? I meant sailors, seamen, like, I want you to sacrifice sailors to me.
You know, it's just like a demon coming up to you holding a dish of your own spunk. Is just like... Yeah, I feel like they just turn and walk away from you. It'd be
they give you a disgusted look. It's just walk away like,
yeah.
This guy's too much of a deviant for me.
That's fucking disgusting, man. And you smell like milk.
That was your mom's good china. What the fuck's wrong with you?
Afterwards, give any spirits present a license of departure and perform a banishing ritual. You must then exit the room immediately and do not return until the next session on night 2. Night 2. Enter the room naked. Bring one other person. Yeah, I'll get a friend in on this.
Dude, you'll never guess what I did last night.
Check out how much I jacked off.
It didn't even come close to filling the bowl, though. I need some... You up for some...
Dude, I got a wicked milk jack-off bath I got to show you. Bring one other person, preferably young. It could be a child, teenager, or young adult. They must not have any knowledge of the occult. They must be a virgin. It does not matter by what means you swindle them into entering the room with you. You must take them to the circle with you and begin the ceremony the same way you did the night before. However, ask them to do nothing but watch you. How the fuck do you pull that off? Like,
I don't know. People try to pull it off all the time. It's super fucking illegal and gross.
Yeah, I mean, it's monstrous and evil, but it's like, you gotta, like, bring someone to your fucking dumb room naked. Like...
And then be like, just watch me, don't worry.
Yeah.
This is going somewhere good, I promise.
You know. This story is making me rethink the Second Amendment. I'm, like, progressively becoming, like, an open carry gun nut the more I'm reading this. You must take them to the circle with you and begin the ceremony the same way you did the night before. However, ask them to do nothing but watch you. If they are older, ask them to undress. If they are younger, this may be skipped. That's mighty fine of you. Like, you're
still naked, so it's still a felony.
Yeah,
like,
it's still, I don't know. Fucked. And
right. I mean, I appreciate you not making it even worse, I guess. But yeah, you're still, you've crossed a line way back in the...
If my friend brought me to this,
well,
I wouldn't get past, like, well, I probably wouldn't get past, like, why do you smell like milk, dude?
Hey, wait, why are you taking your pants off? I gotta go.
Put the knife down. What do you take? Put your pants on. Take one of the knives you have stored away and cut your breast only lightly. Then begin vibrating the names of any spirits you know. Tell the guests to go to the first door and enter it. However, as soon as they turn from you, you must close your eyes immediately. Tell them to do nothing but walk through the door. At this point, if they do not walk through the door, they will be met with physical pain.
Don't worry, they're walking through that fucking door.
Yeah, you don't have to tell me twice to get the fuck away from you. Once they do walk through, they will disappear forever. The door has taken them somewhere far away. Once you hear the door close, you may open your eyes. I'll say it took them far away to the nearby police station.
You'll never see them again, or anybody else for that matter.
You may open your eyes. Close the ceremony as you did the previous night. Night 3. Repeat all the steps of the previous night. However, increase the number of guests to 3. Bullshit. You are not going to get 3 people in on this. Like, you were so lucky to get 1 sucker. After they have entered the door and you have opened your eyes, you may take your crystal ball and begin meditating. You should attempt to see their faces in the ball. If they do not appear, they are not yet at their destination. When they do appear, know that they have died and the ritual has worked.
And they're flicking you off like,
yeah,
fuck you, man. But again,
fuck you and your milk flesh.
This is 3 nights in a row, but you're supposed to repeat this for like 15 months. So by the end of this ritual,
fucking ever.
Yeah, so by the end of this ritual, there's going to be what? I don't know. Probably 100 people that have just vanished off the face of the earth, and you got to hope that nobody's put 2 and 2 together.
I hope this ends with like, and congratulations, you wasted your time.
Yeah,
because again,
you're now a serial killer.
They still haven't said what the fuck this does. All right, so they died. The ritual worked. You will hear a voice. The voice may say anything. Thank it for responding to you. Thank it for its time.
Cowabunga, dude. It worked.
And close the ritual as addressed in night 1. Night 4. Repeat the steps of the previous night. However, increase the number of guests to 9. Fuck it, let's kill the whole town. Like,
yeah. And why do they keep fucking following you? You smell like sour milk.
This is like so much more important than like, oh, you might need a dish or something. Like, you should point out that you need an entire town's population to complete
by the way,
shit.
You're going to be murdering at least 73 people. Hope you're cool with that.
Yeah, like, that's prep work that should have been mentioned before we began. Repeat everything done in night 3. Repeat once again the steps of the previous night. Increase the guest number to 10. Fuck you, dude. You'll be asked to bring 1 additional guest old enough to engage in physical affairs. The voice will ask you to commence this union in the site. The fact that you're murdering all these people and you've done all this shit tells me you'll never be able to engage in physical affairs.
It's your first date with this other person too. You're like, hey, does all this death turn you on as much as it turns me on?
It's like the beginning of like Taxi Driver, and you take her to like a fucking porn theater.
Yeah.
You'll be asked to bring 1 additional guest who old enough. The voice will ask you to commence this union in the sight of the spirits. After doing so, you will order your partner to enter the door, and they will never be seen again. Night 6, increase the guest number to 21. Jesus Christ. No wonder this takes a fucking year. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize they meant you'll be doing this ritual every night for 15 months.
Yeah. After beginning the ceremony on night 7, you should meditate for 6 hours without breaks. You must astral project during this time. In astral form, you may go through the door. If you can touch the door and move it with your astral form, do not enter it. Instead, focus on it until it is immovable. Now allow your astral form to phase through it. Once you have done this, you will find yourself in pitch black. You will hear voices all around you, speaking unintelligibly. If you panic,
saying, "You killed me, you motherfucker."
Yeah, you're a dick.
All right.
You're fucking milk smelly dick.
Yeah. You made me watch you jack off first, and then you kill. Can you kill me first? Like, what the hell? Dude?
It's just a bunch of demonic whispers. You're so fucking weird. You are so fucking weird, dude. If you panic and attempt to pull it back into your body, you could cause a heart attack. It's a shame. We would lose this gifted soul. No one has ever been able to draw back into their body from this place. The few exceptions have ended in death. You must be very strong for this. You will be asked a series of questions. Some may not make sense. Answer honestly. If you do not know the answer, say so. However, one question will always be the same. The voice will ask you, do you know the worthless shepherd? It's like a dance.
Yes, he lives by Drury Lane.
You must reply, "No, but I am willing." You will be pushed out from this realm and find yourself in front of the door again. It is now that you may enter your body again. Begin drinking milk. What is with the milk, man?
I don't know.
All right, I call bullshit. Of everything else here was improbable. But then they're like, you should consume about a gallon of it within 2 hours. You will vomit.
Yeah.
Like,
but from that vomit will rise the worthless shepherd.
Meditate in your free time. You must eat red meat of any kind. It must have blood. It can be of any amount you like. It may be salted or seasoned, but it cannot be cut with the knives you have stored for the ritual. Use a separate knife. Night 8.
Fuck this. I'm just eating it with my bare hands. At this point, who needs etiquette? Table etiquette.
Yeah. Yeah, you're sitting there naked, like, covered in, like, blood and jizz. Like, yeah, we got
milk. Yeah.
Like, fucking you. Like, Hannibal would be so ashamed of you. Begin the ritual as usual on night 8. Repeat steps of night 6. Increase the guest number to 25. What are we fucking at? Like, that's what...
Well, you probably should have told me that before I picked out a 4x4 room.
Guys, I know we're a little cramped. I'm going to need everybody to line up against the wall. Every concert I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Increase the guest number to 25. These guests must be brought by force and unsuspecting. I don't think you have to worry about that. I don't think anybody's willing.
How do you round up 25 people by force unwilling? Like, at the same time? Like, do you have to keep going back out and getting more? Or do you just, like, hijack a bus?
It's a fucking Dr. Robotnik neck. Same way he captures rabbits and shit.
Hey, use your creativity. This part's not very specific. It's up to you how you...
Yeah, they leave... That's the thing with all these rituals. They leave the really hard shit to you to figure out. You may bring a weapon of any sort into the room with you as an incentive to force them into the door. So, all right, so like...
Okay, I'm 5'6". I'm going to have that weapon.
25 people are going to not, like, gang up and beat you to death because you have a bat? Like...
Well, again, you're naked and covered in jizz and milk. Like,
no one wants to touch
like,
you.
Yeah, they're like, you punch him. It's like, I'm not getting that close to him.
I don't know. You wouldn't need a weapon. I would just start swinging as soon as I got a whiff. All right.
Now I like to picture you're walking down the street and anybody that smells you just start swinging on.
Yeah.
Take a fucking shower. Bam.
I mean, the streets are weird. Just the other day, I was walking on my lunch break and I was heading back to work and I got in that awkward stretch where you're following somebody, but you don't mean to, but they're just like, they're never turning when you need them to. And it was this lady and I just started like, all right, she's walking too slow. I start picking up speed and I'm about to go around her and she just stops where she is. And she starts using, like, the homophobic F word on me, shouting it so every restaurant we're passing, all these people on, like, patios and shit are hearing her just drop that word on me and shit. Nice. And it was just like, and I'm keeping my head down, like, can't be talking to me. But it was really uncomfortable.
Yeah, well, yeah. That is like a... Curb Your Enthusiasm type situation like that. I've been lucky enough to not come across that in person.
It happens a lot when you like go on walks for your lunch and shit in like neighborhood parks and stuff. So that was fun.
I don't know. I go for a lot of walks. I've never had somebody randomly like shout homophobic slurs at me. Like,
but you're in Ohio. Like, how many people are walking with you?
Well, that's true. I thought you were about to say, like, you're in Ohio, how many people shout homophobic slurs? It's like, all of them.
Yeah.
It's Ohio.
Ohio, the enlightenment capital of the world. All right. So you can bring a weapon to bring in your 25 suckers. However, you must not step outside of the circle once the ritual has begun. If they resist, knock over anything in the room. Like you're going to knock over candles. Like, now we're all going to... Now you can't leave.
You see how upset I am? I knocked over that candle good. You try to leave again, I'll knock over another one.
Do not panic. Their actions will not deter the ceremony. Use any means to get them to enter the door, aside from stepping outside of the circle, but do not let them enter the second door with the pillars. So
basically just lock the second door, keep the other one unlocked.
And tell them that's the way out. All these people that you took...
Yeah, and it's like, get in this room or I'll shoot you. They all get in this room and are like, now get out of this room or I'll shoot you. And they're like, what the fuck?
All right.
I want to be the one contrarian person. It's like, no, I'm not leaving this room.
No, I like this door better.
You kidnapped me, Ference.
No, we get to jack off and drink all the milk we want. This is great. You must keep one of the guests from entering the door with the others. Once the others have gone, bring the last into the circle with you and kill them. You will begin to see figures standing in the room with you. Pay no mind to them. They will speak to you, but you must not listen to them. Now you must wrap their body in linen. Close the ritual and leave the body. However, leave it outside of the circle, in the empty space of the room. Place your extra candles around it, one at the head and one at the feet.
So, but again, you're not supposed to leave the circle for any of this. So, like, after everybody leaves but one, be like, come here. And they're like, no. And you're like, please. Like, and then when you kill them, you have to, like, heave their body.
The fucking weird naked guy with a weapon is like, hey, you, come here.
So when they said you could pick any wand you want, make sure it's a long stick with, like, the grabby thing at the end.
Yeah, so fucking javelin.
Yeah.
You'll find the body from the previous night will be gone upon entering. Alright, so this is night 9. Now, this is the final night and by far the most challenging. Really, harder than murdering 26 people at once.
Well, it's going to go on to say it's exactly the same as last night, except with 140 billion people.
Yeah, 5. Alright, this time you need 5 other magicians to help you. So 5 other people who stink of jizz and milk.
It'll be easy to find them because everybody else has been murdered.
Yeah, this should be the last of the population. They should have been well prepared for this night in meditations, protections, astral conditioning, magic, etc. They'll stand all around you as you evoke all the goetic spirits at once. The room will become chaotic. There may be any combination of mists, voices, noises, bangs, rumblings, overwhelming smells and sounds. Don't have to worry about that. You handled that on night 1. Presences, etc. You'll be safe as long as you remain within the circle. Use all 3 of your special knives or... athames? I don't know what that word is. Your fellow magicians will stab you in non-fatal places. I'm sure they know what is a kill and what isn't.
And they're like, wait, you've killed... I lost track. We'll say 30 people. So, but we'll just stab you nicely. Like, they're stabbing the fuck out of you.
They watched Gangs of New York once, and I was like, that's how they're going to decide what's a kill and what isn't. Yeah. They will treat you medically as necessary instantly. Afterwards, you will vibrate the names of the enemies of God, or any god. Your fellows will pray over you. You should have 40 guests enter the room. They must all be children. What the fuck?
Well, it's the orphans left behind by all the other people who killed.
Once they have entered and shut the door behind them, they will be ushered by a fellow, without stepping outside of the circle, through the door once more. Now they will no longer be seen again. Use the crystal ball to retrieve their faces once they have been fed upon. One of your fellows will die. It'll be completely random. So who the fuck would agree to that?
I feel pretty good about these odds.
Hey guys, 5 friends, one of you's toast.
That means 80% of us live. I like that.
And what do we get for it? To fucking spank it.
Oh, they'll die later, because that's what...
It'll be completely random. It could even be you. It is seen as a willing sacrifice and a noble submission and a necessary evil for the advancement of your cause, which is what?
To meet the worthless shepherd, which will be great because he's going to show up and he'll be like, "Hey, I'm the worthless shepherd." And you're like, "Sweet, what can you do for me?" It's like, "Nothing. I'm worthless." It's right in my fucking name, dude.
Is he just Slurms McKenzie from Futurama? You're going to party with him?
I'm just picturing some like barefoot, stoned guy that's like, yeah, hey, dude, I'm the worthless shepherd. I don't do anything.
I invented the hem backpack, but nobody bought it.
Would you buy one?
You want one? I made 1 million. They'll be okay. So it could be you. You'll cast their body outside of the circle, and it will be dragged by unseen forces through the door. Unless it was you, then it's over.
Well, yeah. Wouldn't that be a big fucking kick in the pants? You've gone through all of this, and then you randomly die, and then everybody's like, "Oh, wah wah."
Do not look at the door as this happens. There should be 7 hours of chanting any important hymns or incantation you know. Meditate periodically.
Beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles. Oh, maybe that's just me, but
any important one.
Just reciting like cereal commercials.
Meditate periodically. Finally, the remaining magicians must kiss one another and sit in silence. Preferably staring at one another. I assume they were doing that anyway. This must go on for 30 minutes exactly. If it persists for longer, keep going. Do not move until a voice commands you to. It should command you to look towards the second door with the pillars. You will be asked to bow. The door will open and the worthless shepherd will step forth. Engaging with the worthless shepherd. The form he takes is completely unpredictable. Many have had him appear. Usually it's a cop.
In fact, it's a bunch of them.
Many have had him appear in the shape of the magician that was lost. Others have witnessed him in demonic physiology. Others still have seen him in the form of a lost loved one or a stranger. He will give you permission to look at him, but do not stare. When speaking with him, answer all questions honestly. Be completely obedient, even if he asks you to exit the circle.
Sorry, now I'm stuck. I'm picturing Scruff McGruff coming through the door.
That would be my chant. Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Do not be disrespectful. Do not ask for personal favors in return for unleashing the worthless shepherd. He may or may not decide to reward you anyways. Fuck, you're not getting shit from this. Follow all instructions cordially. Communicate respectfully. Do this ceremony repeatedly as stated in the preliminaries for maximum progress. Permanent physical form of the worthless shepherd is theorized to happen after the 15 months are over. However, few magicians can gather the souls required for each week of ceremony. No fucking shit.
I like how it says few, as if there's some that can.
Yeah, like the fucking Ted Bundy. That's it. If this is ever achieved, the worthless shepherd will be given unlimited physical access and will walk as a human being.
And why do we want this?
He's worthless. The dude can't even make a burger. I'm going to kill hundreds of people to summon some fucking, hippie? What? That's it. That's the end of the story. They never tell you.
Okay, so there's no, real objective. They're like, he'll walk the earth. It's like, okay, you could just have a kid and they'll walk the earth, too. Yeah. And then you get to have sex and you don't kill anybody.
Yeah.
And
you can smell weird.
I've got a theory, though. And that's the reason why so few people live in South Dakota, because the one place that successfully it used to be a bustling state until one magician drained it of all its souls.
Yeah.
And the worthless shepherd's clearly like Ben Shapiro or something. You unleash that on the world. Good job. I can 100% say that if somebody summoned somebody called the worthless shepherd, they would have a podcast. Not the summoner, but the worthless shepherd. He'd be like, "Hey, man, Welcome to my show.
I googled worthless shepherd to see what the fuck that means. If it's like
yeah, like if it's some occult thing that.
Well, it like there's like biblical stories that reference like a worthless shepherd.
He was the one, like, if you know the story of the Bible of Jesus' birth, where like the shepherds, an angel comes down and told, you know, that's the way we were taught it. There was 3 shepherds that were told about the 3 shepherds. I don't know, maybe just one. I'm not a good Christian. Anyway, angel comes down, and is like, hey, Jesus was born, and the shepherd's like, yeah, let's go see him. The worthless shepherd was also there, and they're like, Jesus was born, and he's like, that's pretty far away.
Okay, it's the Antichrist.
Nah.
So in Zechariah, it says the Antichrist is a worthless, evil shepherd.
Which again is, I still stick by my story, where he was the other one that was told, and he was like, yeah, but that manger's so fucking far away, and I had plans tonight to sit in a bath of milk and jack off. Like,
yeah, like, what's so confusing about this is still, like, usually when there's, like, devil summoning rituals and stuff, you're getting shit for it, or you're at least promised shit. This one outright says he might not give you anything.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you do it?
It's like that cliche, like, zealot Satanist that, you know, they just are so obsessed with bringing the devil to earth that they do this. Anyway, I mean, we're fine. Like I said, it's not, they got really fucking greedy with the number of people. Like, I could almost buy like one sacrifice, you know, you trick one person a night to come in and kill him, but it's like by night 17, you got to bring 37 individuals of varying height. No 2 individual can be the same height.
Yeah.
And they've got to all have different hair color too. 37 different hair color. It's like, if you manage this, the next night we'll increase the number. Yeah, it's a very demanding ritual. Like I said, I wish I would have had a heads up. I would have gathered the necessary individuals and had them waiting to see if this works. But I just don't know that many people.
Yeah. Well, you know, that was certainly a lot of laughs to be had, but of all the rituals, I understand that one the least. Because that was easily the most work any of them that we've done on the show require for no payoff.
No payoff, yeah.
Much like this show. You put in a lot of work to listen to us every week, and then I just leave after an hour, like I'm about to right now.
I know, yeah.
So thanks for listening, and sorry.
Good luck summoning that shepherd. Like, if you manage it, drop us a line on Twitter. I mean, we'll probably have seen the headlines, but
yeah, I still like the idea of just a SWAT team and being like, "I did it." All right, goodbye.